Okay, let's watch this video. Returning to retail World of Warcraft in 2023. Let's see what it says.
You know what they say, all roads lead back to WoW, but I think
Oh,
that's
hell
more
no.
specifically retail WoW. Especially for somebody who has access to their original account, I assume it's probably way easier to quit forever knowing you'd have to start from fresh, or maybe Classic's more appealing if you'd have to start over. But for
Uh
me,
huh.
it's happened again where I'm back to somewhat playing retail seriously again. Now, let me be
Ooh.
clear, I know how this looks, with my last video being somewhat negative about Classic WoW, and then this video saying I'm returning to retail. So let me just say, I'm not quitting Classic. I still have plans for many more characters and videos on Classic, so if you want to see Classic videos, I'm going to make them soon. But today we are talking about
Okay.
retail and why I returned in 2023. And what brought me back to playing the game exactly? Well, actually a lot of things, but
Alistrasa.
mostly a lot of things that came with patch 10.1.5. And this thing wasn't even a major patch. It was like a minor patch, but it had a lot of stuff in it that was really good. But sometimes, even when you have a bunch of reasons, you just need that one reason to get you to log on for the first time. And for me, that reason was because they added a skip straight to Garrosh in the Siege of Orgrimmar, and I needed those tusks of Manaroth. And well, I don't have
What?
them yet, but I
Really?
will. Okay, I will. And that finally got me to log on to the game. And I don't think Blizzard knows how valuable it is to have that one little thing to get somebody to log on to the game, and then maybe they'll start playing, because I was ready to start playing somewhat seriously again. But also, Blizzard, keep adding more stuff like that. So many people would run for these old mounts if they had skips to the end. Ice Crown Citadel, Ulduar, Dragon Soul, Molten Core, many
Ooh.
more of these raids. Just getting this simple update would get tons of people playing legacy content. But let's not get too caught up in legacy content, because that's not why we're here
I
today.
need to get
We're here
invincible.
because of the new stuff. And another reason I wanted to play again is because I saw a clip of an unholy death knight doing an insane amount of damage. And I hate to break your immersion.
Holy.
I know on this character I've presented it like I am a orc warrior. Well, I do want to play that in classic. In retail, I am a goblin death knight, and I have always played Unholy since like Cataclysm. So seeing another Unholy Death Knight doing this, it made me want to do it too. I kind of found out that I wasn't going to be able to do that, but it was fine because I was still a pretty good spec right now. Now, one of the first things I did was the new time rifts, and those time rifts were added in the new update, and they're an awesome open world event. These things happen every hour, right on the hour, and you do tasks for like 8 minutes, and then a time rift portal opens up, and then you go into an alternate reality Azeroth, and you defeat a boss. Now, these things are great.
Wait, that looks
because
fun.
first,
What the
there's
heck?
tons of mounts, pets, trinkets, and
I need to come back to this game. The amount of content that they added, and now they have 10.2, and I heard that 10.2.5 is also adding a lot of content. I might jump to this game, and on the 30th they are adding the new classic season of Discovery, I think it's called. So I might play this next week or something like that. I want to play WoW, retail and classic. It looks fun. All of this content, casual content, this is what the game needed. So that's pretty cool.
other goodies at the vendors, which you could purchase with the new currency. And it doesn't even take that long.
Wait, I remember that came out a long time ago. The Listrasa. Um. Oh, I don't remember the name of those things. Are you kidding me?
Already farmed
Fuck.
all the mounted pets, and it's really not that hard. Go to a couple of them a day for like a week or two, and you'll probably have everything. I would suggest doing these soon, though, because I have noticed something with Dragonflight's open world content. After it's
Oh,
been out for a while, people kind of just stop doing it. And some of these world events are
Lucky.
either really annoying to do alone or just not possible depending on your gear. Like, for example, the Obsidian Citadel. Nobody is here farming rep anymore because it's not the start of the expansion. And yeah, I can solo the elites here, but I also have a really high item level at this point, and it's a complete pain in the ass. So Blizzard, like, can you nerf these guys so it could be easily soloable? Even Zeralek Cavern, people aren't going to it as much anymore. but I really needed to start getting my character geared up because I wanted to do the new Mega Dungeon and I wanted that new beautiful HD Gorehowl axe from it. So I started pugging
That's
some lower
cool.
Mythic Plus
That looks
keys,
cool.
and man, it was complete hell. Everybody in Group
Welcome
Finder
to
is
Mythic Plus.
stupid, and they want you to be 10 item levels higher than the gear that would even drop from the dungeon that you're doing. I was struggling playing solo, and I needed to figure it out if I wanted to get better gear. And honestly, this plateau and struggle.
That reminds me of when I got a job. You need 8 years of experience, but I never been able to work. You need time of experience. You need to have years of experience in the past. But I need to get the experience. But you need experience. You need to have the experience already. Oh my god,
The
so
Rise is
stupid.
probably where most people just stop playing the game. But I got a little lucky when I decided to look over at my guild chat. You see, I've been in this guild for years, and if I had to guess, it was probably since like Legion, and I only ever joined a guild to get the rewards from the guild vendor, and I don't know a single person in this guild. I've never talked to anybody here. But I look over and I notice they're talking about the newest raid, which they were currently doing. And since
Wait,
it
that
was just normal
dragon looks
difficulty,
cool.
they let me join in. And the raid was fun and no problem now that I was actually in a Discord and voice chat with people who knew what they were doing. So that night was fun. And I also decided on that night, no more pug purgatory. And I would become a semi-active member of the guild. I made it pretty clear though I had no interest in doing like progression rating or super duper high mythic keys, but I started playing with some of the people on there and making some friends, and I was quickly able to push up to 2,000 mythic plus rating and get my Keystone Master mount. And I was also finally ready for the new mega dungeon, Dawn of
Oh,
the
that is a
Infant.
nice
Now this new
entrance.
dungeon is awesome, and it's pretty much like a 5-person raid, it feels like. The first week was pretty challenging, but eventually we were able to get the hang of it. And at the time I'm recording this, I've done the dungeon 3 times, and I've still gotten no gore howl, and I'm pretty upset about that. But I got almost all the armor pieces from the dungeon. I got the really good mirror trinket, and I even got the quantum courser to drop on the first week. And if you don't know what that is, it's this thing that
Mount?
pretty much gives you a random mount that you don't already have. Now, mine wasn't the best mount. I got the Mechagon Peacekeeper, but, you know, I'll take it. I didn't have it. It's something I don't have to run every week anymore. But mark my words, I will get that new Gore Howl soon. And then I will...
Can you save that token and open it later to get other mounts? That's like a big strat for people that collect these mounts.
also get the Tusks of Manaroth too. And then my orc is going to look so awesome on the character select screen. But with all the new gear I got from all the dungeons and stuff I was doing, my item level was good enough that my guild leader let me join in on Heroic Raid Night. And let me say, bro, I really enjoyed the recent raid, Aberus or Arborus, I forgot what it's called.
That's a cool
but
boss.
it was actually way more fun than I thought it would be. Most of the fights are pretty enjoyable. There's no bullshit annoying mechanics, and it's pretty easy if you have a competent group of people. My favorite fight in the raid had to be Neltharion, just because, you know, it's Deathwing in his human form, and the fight itself was pretty cool, but I was able to
Wait,
get
what?
the sword
Deathwing?
from him. Ash Candor, Fall of the Brotherhood, which is obviously a callback to the Ash Candy sword from Vanilla WoW. So I was super happy with that and all my new gear, and I was able to take my gear over to the Creation Catalyst and turn it all into the tier set. And then here's my favorite part. When
That's a nice set. That is a nice set.
you fully upgrade your armor at this level, you get the transmog of the Mythic Raid set without even ever having to do with the Mythic Raid. I like that. At this point, I was 440 item
Wait,
level,
what?
and I was pretty satisfied with my gear and how my character looked, so I could focus less on the endgame stuff and go back to doing some shenanigans like always, because what's retail WoW without shenanigans? So first, I went over to one of my favorite places, the Black Market Auction House. Now, my server used to be pretty dead for many years, and I would get stuff off this auction house for pretty cheap. But now, for some reason, there's some rich guy who wants to assert dominance. I was after one of the mystery boxes, and for those who don't know, the mystery box can drop any item from the entire black market loot tables. So you could get a super rare mount that's unobtainable, or you could get an Elwyn Forest lamb. I won the auction on this first one that I wanted, but this guy kept raising the price so much, I paid way more than I wanted to. And I ended up getting a piece of crap gear. It's unobtainable, but it's something I can't use because I wear plate. But that guy who bid
okay.
against me, he was probably not very happy about this because now every single day when there is a mystery box up there, as soon as the
Oh.
auction goes up, he puts 500,000 gold as his starting bid. So I'm
No
good. That's like
way.
$40 worth of WoW tokens. I'm good there. Another thing I went and tried out was the Mage Tower, since I hadn't done it since Legion. And I gotta say,
Wait,
it
is it
was pretty
still
easy.
available?
It took me like 4 tries, and I didn't have to look up any guides on what to do. I just kind of went in and blasted it down while figuring out the mechanics while they happened. It was pretty straightforward, and the transmog set was cool, but there was a problem with this transmog set. Okay, the Mage Tower was first put in Legion, and I got the sword from it. And my sword is
Oh.
green, and the transmog set is also green. But they're different greens. I can't even use them together. Why?
That looks like blue. What the fuck? There's no way that's green. That's blue. What?
Why, Blizzard? Why would you
The
do this to
set.
me? There is actually one more change in the game that I don't think as many people have been talking about, and it's something for the new player experience, and I think it's very
Ooh.
good. New
What is it?
players are no longer forced to do Exile's Reach for their first character, and they're also not forced into the BFA story on their first character anymore.
What?
This is so good, I don't think people realize. It's needed to be like this for so long because most of us aren't new players, so we won't notice these things. But I had a friend who wanted to get back into playing WoW, but he didn't have access to his original account, so he had to start over. Now, Exile's Reach was fine, whatever, but forcing them into the BFA storyline was where the
Yeah,
problem
sucks.
started.
A lot of
Because
people
the
quit.
BFA story, the quests, they all suck and have no relevancy to today's WoW.
True.
And my friend who wanted to get back into the game, he didn't even make it to level 30, and he's quit the game, and he's just not going to come back. And at this point, he already came back and quit, so there's almost no chance I could convince him to come back again. But I'm glad they did this. I hope they did it sooner, because I can only imagine there's probably so many new players that could have been saved and kept playing if they had had a different first experience. Anyways, that's my initial thoughts and experience on returning back to retail WoW in 2023. While I do think the game's a very good place right now, I think it has a long way to go. And I'd like to make another video in the near future talking about changes I would want in retail WoW. Anyways, for now, I'll see you guys in my next video. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and yeah, peace.
That was a nice video. The content that they've been adding in this expansion is really, really, really good compared to what they added in Shadowlands. I feel like I feel like Dragonflight is that good expansion that nobody played. You know what I mean? Like it's good, but nobody's playing it, and everybody's saying this dog shit. But it's really not. The content, I feel like they've been adding a lot of content, a little bit of everything: dungeons, raids, events, world quest, and events, world events, or I don't know how they're called. Um, they've been adding a lot of content this expansion, and they are even adding more content in the next patch, the 10.2.5. They are even doing what is it called? The dungeons with NPCs, like in Final Fantasy. That is amazing. So I like where the game is going. What Blizzard is cooking. I'm hyped for the next expansion, the War Within. I am really hyped. I need to come back to this game. I'm gonna play it next week. No cap. Like this shit looks fun. There's no way I'm not gonna play this game before it ends. I wanna do the new raid and play my warrior, and I want to level up a rogue. I saw the rogue is fine. It's cool right now. I wanna play those. For this video, I really enjoyed it. It actually made me wanna play it more, even more. With the content they have, a lot of shit. The way you get the tier set is easy at least. It's fine. So yeah, I want to play this game now.